Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it's that time of the day once again. Wednesday night pre-flight, taking flight, episode 107. Here we go. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Wednesday night pre-flight, episode 107. As part of the usual, I am Cobble. Cobble. Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to another grand episode of Wednesday Night Pre-Flight. We had an exceptional show last week, and we're going to have an even better one this week. We got all kinds of fallout from all the matches that we had yesterday, and we got a hell of a main event that you'll find out shortly about. But first off, we're going to start with a Part 2 Fallout match between Haas and I don't know what the hell our stage guys have done, but that's not what we're supposed to see. Oh well. Regardless. Haas pretty much dominated Blavis last week, calling him a piece of shit because he cost him a shot in the Rumble. Haas got a little bit of payback last week. And now Blavis has said he's not done yet, he wants to go another round. With Blavis saying, I could beat you just like I did the Rumble once again. And Haas has said, and I quote, "It'll be a pleasure to knock your ass out once again. I'll see you out there." So, Haas, with the big chip on his shoulder, and Blavis to see how he responds after getting knocked the fuck out last week. But yes, Blavis put up a hell of a fight. I think Haas severely underestimated the abilities that Blavis has and what he's shown. He hasn't gotten to where he's been just by sitting in the back and looking pretty. He's gone out there every night that he's been scheduled and gave it his all. This is tell the naysayers they can try and get some back, so. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Blavis versus Haas. Royal Rumble Fallout. Let's see if Haas finishes the job or Blavis is going to catch him off guard.
There's the bell.
Haas comes in with a big shoulder block, start the match off like usual. Blavis. Haas is going to counter throw Blavis into the corner. Haas going to put Blavis on top of up top on the apron, and Haas hit the backside superplex right in the center of the ring. Haas ducks under the waistlock, standing switch. Haas sends Blavis into the other corner. Haas pauses for a second to line up for something, and he's going to put Blavis back up on top. And Haas, going for the superplex, hits the vertical superplex off the top. Haas goes to the wrist lock, trying just to tear apart Blavis even further. Blavis is going to try and wither the storm and comes back with a beautiful counter right there. Hits the spinning leg drop. Blavis is going to stump on Haas and hit him with a diving clothesline right to the face. Blavis is going to take that arm out that knocked his ass out last week. Haas is going to push him away. They lock up in the top corner. Haas is going to win that, go to the waist lock, standing switch. Blavis thrown into the corner. But Blavis is going to counter it and hit Haas with the axe handle in and float over neck breaker. Spinning leg drop eats all of Haas's face. Blavis dropping those elbows right into the shoulder plexus of Haas. Blavis trying to make Haas stay down. He's going to put him in the moose knuckle in the center of the ring. Haas able to get to the ropes. He's touching it. And he makes the rope after the second effort. Blavis kicks to the midsection, goes to the headlock. Blavis, pull back, shoulder block of his own. Blavis picks Haas back up, who's slightly dazed. He's going to dump Haas over the top. Blavis is going to bring him back in the hard way. Stomp on that point blank diving clothesline. Goes right back after that arm. Goes for right hand, misses, but Haas is going to counter it, throw Blavis into the corner. Haas says, have a pole. Haas all over Blavis, able to weather the little storm. Blavis able to weather the storm that Haas threw out there early on. Blavis gets caught in the wrist lock. Blavis is going to counter to the hammerlock and push Haas away. Haas comes in a couple of right hands, goes back to the waist lock. Blavis counters to the hammerlock and once again pushes Haas back. Haas comes back with those combinations, but Blavis is going to catch him. He's going to hit him with the EA. Right, the gate drops him on his head. Blavis drags Haas to the center. Here's the cover. 1, 2, 3. What? Blavis drops Haas on his head. Haas may be unconscious, but Blavis is going to take the victory. When Haas gets up, he is not going to be a happy individual. This is far from over, as we said last week. Now it's one aside. We'll see what they have planned up for next week. But these two are far from done. Blavis is going to take the victory this time around. And our cameras are heading to the back, so let's see what we got. Oh, it's William Grayson. Oh, God. What the shit was that last week? I challenged your brother for his title last week. He accepted. Then you stick your nose in my business and took my contendership and made it a triple threat. Those actions usually lead you to get stitches. If you want them, I'll be more than happy to rip your leg off and beat you to death with it. Oh, Grayson, you try too hard. You're right. I did intentionally screw your match by cashing in my Feast or Fire case. I'm not sorry for that. I wanted my title back. I have 2 chances. So I burned one. I still have my rematch clause. So sorry about your damn luck. Sorry, how about I just take it out of you, take you out for good. Wait. I have a better idea. What's that? I'm just gonna have a conversation with our head of talent relations. Oh. So yes, Williams intentionally cashed in his Feast or Fire champion to technically screw Grayson after burning his number 1 contendership he won from the Scramble match. But now, Grayson, instead of beating him to death is going to try and talk to Max and see what this is going to be. This might be interesting turn of events. Huh. So we'll just have to wait and see what Max has to say in regards to Grayson's complaint. So. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight we begin our qualifier matches for our new FSCW Wednesday Night Preflight Television Championship. All matches will be one fall, pin, or submit. Falls count anywhere match. So without further ado, let's let the road to a new champ begin. Now let's head back to ringside. That is correct, ladies and gentlemen. We will have our qualifier match. We'll have over the next 3 or 4 or 5 weeks. We will determine our qualifier matches to get in at a shot at our new FSCW Television Championship. And with the dawning of that new championship, new options become a thing. We are working on a few other things to make it more interesting and involved. We're kicking around the idea of the winner of that TV title that will be on the line every week. We thought about that. We have talked over many, many different things with our staff here. So, we'll keep you posted. You just have to keep turning in and see what we have. But our first qualifier match, hey, our tech guys got our lighting system and stage back. The first qualifier is going to be Marsh. So this is interesting. I believe Marsh had a pretty decent rumble, if memory serves. Let me just double check my notes here. Actually, he didn't really do much, except eliminate the #1 contender for William Whiteside's title, which was Grayson. So, that could be something that comes along later down the road. Our next person that's going to join his qualifier match is... It's the Apostle! The Apostle's had some very rough weeks. Last few very rough weeks he's had. But he's going to try and turn it around now, because now he has something to fight for. His tag team, the team he manages, has gold around their waist. Now it's his turn to get some of his own. So hopefully, he will advance. But we're going to have to wait and find out. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The first qualifier match for our TV title.
There's the bell, and here we go.
Apostle, Marsh open up. Marsh open with a right hand right to the face, goes to the headlock. Curls it, goes to the wrist lock. Kicks that bicep, working that elbow and bicep right in on the Apostle. Apostle's to come in, field breaker. This is that float over DDT as he goes to the headlock. Elbow to the face. Big right hand goes to the headlock. Drops the elbow right into the throat of Marsh. Marsh. Apostle goes to the wrist lock and elbow to the throat. Body scissors, elbow to the face, follow that up where Apostle is focusing on the head and shoulders and throat of Marsh early on in the match. The Apostle goes to the waist lock, standing switch. Apostle sends Marsh, throws in a big shoulder thrust, drops Marsh in the corner. Gonna stomp on him, then follow with that big thigh right to the face as well. Apostle all over Marsh, springboard missile drop kick. Beautifully executed there from the Apostle. But Marsh is going to fight back out of it, hit a DDT of his own. But he's going to turn right into a twisting arm drag right there from the Apostle. Marsh again fights out of it. Those right hands, DDT. Marsh kicks to the midsection, goes to the waist lock. And backside suplex. The Apostle is going to turn the tables and throw Marsh into the corner. And the Apostle goes right back to those shoulder thrusts, right to the gut. Marsh will get back up, then Apostle going to kick him right in the midsection, goes to the wrist lock. Goes to the headlock, goes for that single Fujiwara armbar. And the Apostle rolls over Marsh, goes over, works on the arms. Try to get rid of those hands of Marsh, because they're deadly as hell. Standing switch. Apostle throws Marsh into the corner. Early on, the Apostle has all of the offense right now. The Apostle put Marsh up top. Apostle jumping Rana. Jumping Super Rana off the top. Marsh gets right back up unfazed. Elbow to the face of the Apostle. One. Going to counter it to the headlock of his own. Marsh is going to counter that to the wrist lock. And have an elbow to the throat of the Apostle as well. And Marsh is teeing off on that shoulder and neck of the Apostle. Apostle pushes back to create some separation. But Marsh is going to catch him with the backside suplex. And Marsh is going to dive to the outside and tear an announce table off. Okay. The Apostle is going to catch Marsh and throw Marsh on the table. The Apostle puts Marsh on the table. This can't be good. The Apostle puts up Marsh. And oh dear God, a brainbuster driver right through the announce table. The Apostle throws Marsh right into the steps, adding more insult to injury. Marsh pops back up, not very happy, eats a right hand, goes to the wrist lock. The Apostle is going to throw Marsh right back into those same steps yet again. Apostle goes for the cover on the outside, reps in position. Marsh is going to kick out at one. DDT on the outside. Marsh, oh, he's going for the Marsh rush. Hits the rush flame strike. The Apostle's down. Here's the cover. Ref's in position. Oh, and Apostle's going to kick out at one. DDT. Apostle's been busted open. Marsh drops the elbow. Marsh just ripping apart the Apostle's face. Jesus Christ. Marsh goes to the cover again. Ref's out of position. Apostle kicks out at one. Punch to the midsection. Goes to the wrist lock. The Apostle is going to eat a barricade. Marsh is going to drag the Apostle through the barricade right now. Adding insult to injury, the Apostle is probably going to be down. The Apostle face down. Here's the cover. The Apostle kicks out at one. Looks like on instinct alone. Apostle comes over to DDT of his own. Here's the cover. Ref's in position. And no, Marsh kicks out at one. Big right hand. Marsh comes back with a right hand of his own. Then that running clothesline. Marsh goes for another cover. Apostle kicks out at one. Marsh right forearm to the midsection. Kick to the midsection. Goes to the waist lock. Apostle's going to counter it to the headlock. Marsh to counter that stalemate. Comes with the right hand. And Marsh going right back. The Marshall rush. Marsh knocks the Apostle right the fuck out once again. Here's the cover. 1, 2, 3. Marsh advances. Marsh has advanced. Marshall was able to withstand that earlier onslaught from the Apostle, but at the end of the day, Marsh hits a pair of flame rushes, followed by a brain buster through the announce table and a barricade drive through, and Apostle just could not take any more damage. And our cameras are heading to the back once again, so let's see what we got this time. Good evening! Oh, it's the Guardian. We know that Drake and Reno are stewing in the back because they did not get what they wanted last week. They need to learn patience. And that they shall. Granted a rematch, they have to be patient. So tonight, open non-title match there is to any team besides the reigning Blitzkrieg. Come on down, and we will return later. Luck you shall need. So Guardian in 13 talking about they're starting up an open challenge non-title to any of the other tag teams besides the reigning Blitzkrieg, because as they said, they have a rematch when they want for their titles back. But as 13 said, there are many other teams, and they want to give a little get to know the other teams. So they're doing the open challenge to see who comes down. So that might be a very interesting match, because they have little to no prep time for Guardian at 13. But our main event of the evening is going to be Radiant versus Beth Myers. We saw them talking last week, and it's been confirmed. Beth Myers is cashing in her #1 contendership for Radiance's title, and Shane is next down the line. Next matchup is going to be 4X versus Shane. Shane absolutely dominated 4X last week. Shane pretty much says, look, I'm better than every one of you here. I'll beat your ass in the ring or in any way we can, or anyone wants to come down and try, or tell me difference. He also went on to say is, look, one by one, the so-called originals of the FSCW will face me, or I will find them. They're not ready for greatness like mine. So he's going to teach lessons to all of the so-called legends of the FSCW. And 4X, in response to that pretty much said, dude, I've had more main events than you've existed here in the FSCW. Yes, you fought a couple of big names, but I've fought everybody from the ground up. Hell, I even took out my own teammate. All because they were all holding me down. I'm the best. So 4X gonna try and back up what he says, but he got super kicked right out of the ring last week, so let's see if 4X is able to rebound, or is Shane gonna install his dominance like he did in the weeks prior. So Shane versus 4X. Round 2. Fight! So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Round 2 between Shane and 4X. 4X is going right to the wrist lock to open up the match. Single leg takedown, beautifully executed there. 4X rolls over Shane and goes to that body scissors elbow to the face. Working on that head early on. And right back to it, and not even giving Shane room. Here's the cover. 1. Shane kicks out at 1. 4X is going to go right, kick the hamstrings, go to the headlock. Elbow to the face. Shane's going to come back to the headlock of his own. He's going to throw 4X in the corner. Shane, right hand right to the head. And Shane goes to the headlock once again. Going to throw him into the corner. Measuring him up for something. He's going to put 4X into the tree of woe. And oh shit, 4X is able to escape. Shane's going to come back with those big clotheslines. Hits the heel kick right to the head. Shane going to pop that offense out. Here's the cover. 1-0. 4X is going to say, nope, you're going to have to do more than that then, yo. 4X goes right to the hamstring, goes to the headlock. Shane's going to counter to the wrist lock. Shane's going to send 4X back. Beautiful power slam. Shane drops the elbow. Shane going to throw 4X over the top. Kick him right off the apron. Shane's going to follow suit right out to the floor. Shane's going to put 4X and say, have a barricade. And have a pull instead. Shane just taking advantage of 4X. And 4X is like, really? That's it? Oh, Shane's going to catch him. Super kick! Will that be enough? But Shane's got to get 4X back in the ring. But 4X is going to snap out of it and tell Shane, have a pull himself and bust him wide open. 4X took that super kick and said, okay, I'm going to send one back. Then kicks 4X in the face, big rolling wheel kick. Shane's rolling over, here's the cover, 1. 4X is going to kick out. Beautiful Japanese arm drag right there. 4X to the headlock. Beautiful hip toss. 4X getting the momentum back on his side now. Beautiful Northern Light Fisherman suplex pin. Here's the cover. Oh, Shane kicks out at 1. Beautiful Fisherman suplex pin. 4X all over Shane right now. Beautiful vertical, and what the hell? Shane's been knocked out. 4X rolled for Shane's head and dropped him right on it. Ref called the match. 4X wins. Shane's not going to be a happy individual. 4X dropped Shane right on his head. And that knocked him through a loop. And 4X will take the victory. Now they're one aside, ladies and gentlemen, and we will be right back. Time for a commercial break. We'll be right back.